doing their part, right? Because they have poor leadership and they have people that are not shepherding them correctly. They have people that are not showing them the ways of God or teaching them the things of God. They're not teaching them to come out of their sin. They're not teaching them to confront their sin. And so now you have people in church who are bound, who are stuck, and they haven't come out of their sin. They're still operating in sin. They're not consecrating themselves. They're coming in the church and they're leaving the same way. It should be some transformation taking place. It should be some transforming taking place. You also have places where the presence of God isn't even there. The presence of God is not there. And so that's another thing too. So if God's presence isn't there, how can real transformation take place? If God's presence isn't there, how can people really be transformed? How can they really be delivered? There's another thing too. God's people are being exploited. Where it's like people are talking about tithe and tithe this and tithe that and the money here, money there. But people are not being delivered. People are not being set free. They're still operating in sin. And so we got to do better as the body of Christ. Leaders got to do better. Why? Because there are people watching you. There are people that need God and they want God, but they won't because of the representation that's coming from the church. We are the church. They're not coming because it's poor representation. They're not coming because we don't look like the God that we say we serve. I'm just being honest. People could say, oh, the people to come in, they want the people to come in. They're not going to come in because you don't look like the God that you profess out of your mouth. And we have to live what it is that we profess out of our mouths. We cannot have the form and not have the fruit. We cannot have leaves because the fig tree had the leaves. If you don't know the story is Jesus was hungry. And he saw a fig tree, and the fig tree had the leaves. So Jesus said, okay, if the fig tree got leaves, this is not what the word says, but I'm just putting it in my own words, where it's like you got the leaves, so that means the fruit was there. But when he went up on the tree, it didn't have no fruit. So it was a poor, on the outside, it looked like it had the fruit, but it didn't have the fruit. And that's the thing with a lot of us who are in the church and the leaders. You look it, but you don't have it. And God in this hour is calling for his people to get in order. The leaders, even down to the sheep, because if we representing God, we got to represent him correctly. Because we are the solution to the things that's going on in the world. And how can we be the solution if we look like the world? We can't. So God is saying, these people